Hello and welcome to Torg's Day Night. I am Jay, I'm your GM, and with me, as always, are the Horsemen. We're going to jump right into it. But first, if you are brand new to the stream, whether watching it live on Twitch or following it on YouTube, we are playing Torg tonight. And Torg is a game of high action and drama set in a world much more action-packed than ours that has been invaded by other realities. The characters play Storm Knights, people who carry their personal reality wherever they go. And they are constantly in battle with the High Lords, these despotic rulers of these other dimensions that are invading Earth and attempting to essentially strip mine the Earth of hope and possibility to fuel their own ascension into the Torg. What is the Torg? No one really knows, but it's bad. So that's why the Storm Knights go out and stop it. Our group right now is composed of 4 Storm Knights. We have Edith, the BA monster hunter from Orosh, a Victorian horror cosm that has overtaken India, the subcontinent in that area. We have Mick Lane, who is from Core Earth, a rough and tumble action hero on probationary action hero. Simeon, who is a pulp superhero from the Nile Empire, a cosm which has overlaid North Africa and parts of the Middle East. Think 1930s pulp superheroes. Indiana Jones meets the Phantom meets the Shadow. He is a mad inventor who has had both of his legs replaced with that of a cybernetic gorilla and has had his brain grown 3 sizes that day, much like the Grinch's heart. And Genevieve, the cybernetic smuggler / hacker from the cyber papacy, a techno-religious cosm that has taken over parts of Spain and France, and Germany, that kind of area, as well as just recently expanding into Brazil. And that is where we are going to start our game when we last left off. And if you want to go back and catch up on the Ulisses International channel, there is a massive backlog of the Torg campaign, and we will be starting a brand new Torg campaign in January. Right? I think that's all of the announcements. Let's get to the recap and get right to the gaming. The group was summoned to the cyber papacy to get the last of a series of relics, eternity shards, pieces that were left here by an ancient race long before humanity and maybe even possibly the High Lords knew of multiple cosms. A map that has existed since the earliest days of the Bronze Age. These artifacts have been scattered around Earth, have been used in various myths and legends of our stories, and they were brought to the cyber papacy to get the last artifact, only to find that the High Lord, Moreau, had destroyed it, but not before making a digital backup copy of this grimoire that is stored in a reliquary in the mountain, this massive techno construct, this Gnostic vault where he keeps his most private information and most sensitive information. Think of the cyber papacy sort of like a cyberpunk meets like high mass kind of combined. So the group has to find a way to break into the reliquary, steal the information, bring back this digital copy of this grimoire. All of the other eternity shards that they have gathered over the last 2+ years have been brought to the cyber papacy in hopes that this grimoire will give them the idea of how to assemble this and stop this new plague from being unleashed on Core Earth, a entity or entities known as the Source, which lie at the heart of the Tunguska crater. Now, the group went on a rescue mission to save a young woman named Sarah from the Cyber Knights. They fought an Inquisitor. Simeon was tased until unconsciousness and possibly loss of other bodily control. We didn't really get into it. And they rescued Sarah and brought Sarah back to a monastery that V was possibly raised in, possibly used as a base of operations under the tutelage of Father Louis. a old Cathar fortress that has been turned into a Catholic monastery that then eventually became abandoned when the cyber papacy sort of overlaid our world. Now, when the group returned, they discovered Sarah did not appreciate, was sort of skittish around Father Louis, prompting Edith and Agent Lane to descend into the bowels, explore the fortress, and sort of in tandem, they discovered Father Louis is not all that he seems. It seems that the Ebenskrux, the darkness device, the thing that connects the High Lord to all of the evil and the chaos that they unleash in the world, has been working on a way to incarnate itself, to create a simulacrum that it can pour itself into and become both art and artificer, both artifact and wielder, to basically cut the High Lord out of the loop. But it's been failing. And Sarah was able to see some of this data when she hacked into the mountain. And she knows, she's seen Father Louis before. Father Louis is one of these failed attempts. A failed attempt to create the perfect host for the Ebenskrux. Now, Lane and Edith found a secret room in the basement of the fortress that when it opened up, the lights came on. Computer hard light displays blazed into ethereal glory, and this digitized face appeared on the screen saying, "Is that you, Louis? Shall we continue our game?" That is where we're going to start. Simeon, you awake, and you can see that Sarah, the girl you rescued, you're laying out on a cot. In the room with you is Sarah and Geneviève. And also, as always, say a warm, happy hello to Zero Earth Element, Mr. Furious, and Greg and Phantom of Truth for joining us tonight in the chat. All right, now I've got all of my opening done.
So, what has happened? Did we win?
We don't have time for this. I'm telling you, he is a simulacrum.
Who's a simulacrum?
Listen, I appreciate your help, but if you're going to be unconscious during all of the exposition, the least you can do is let us finish our conversation.
Look, Sarah, I've spent a lot of time with Father Louis. I don't get the sense that he is inherently evil or he is the villain here.
Listen, anyone who allies with Melrose Church seeks nothing but dominion and terror and power over the people of the papacy.
My understanding, though, aren't there two churches, Melrose Church and then the original church? And my understanding is Father Louis is subscribing to the original church, not Melrose Church. It feels a little dangerous to lump them all together.
Like
You know
Orthodox.
that since it invaded the old church, whether you're speaking of our old church or the old church of wherever they came from, it's all being subsumed. Anyone who is connected, anyone is our enemy.
So, you're making some pretty grand statements for being in one of the most disconnected places in the papacy that still honors the old traditions. Look around. This is not the mountain.
Meanwhile, down in the bowels of the fortress, shall we play our game? Caro, good to see you, and it is always a great time for a theological debate, wouldn't you say, Maddie?
Edith, we gotta go.
Wait. V showed me how to use.
As soon as Mick says that, the door closes behind you.
I pull out the phone that what are they called here?
I
The
believe.
Zuzu?
Zuzu.
You have that from Pan Pacifica. You have this. You still have the Zuzus?
Maybe.
I believe they are called telephone. Here in
I pull out whatever device is and push V's face.
press le telephone.
Push V's face.
That's right. Edith's level of technical use is that of grandparents everywhere. Push the face that matches the person I want to call.
Now, to be fair, my tech axiom is 18, and Sadie's was much, much lower, but
That's true. Sadie couldn't actually even use the phone. She got around with like 2 cans and a string, and all right. So you press the button and the phone starts ringing. Oh, bringing more people to play our game, Louis. Excellent. Step forward, and a light illuminates a space right in front of the hard light displays. I know you're here. I heard your voice, Louis.
Hey, floating head. How you doing? And I'll step forward. I'll go in the light. Unless he just wants to say, "Don't go into the light." No,
I don't know
all
that
right,
Edith
good.
is much for keeping people out of the light and sort of shoving them toward them.
Well, we just met anyway. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take this one.
Edith, you see the light go from this golden illumination from the ceiling to something more of like a cinderous color. And the image on the screen sort of flickers from kind of the stylized graphical display to something a little more demonic, maybe a little bit more horned. You are
Pazuzu.
not Louis.
Nope.
We shall play a different game. V, your phone rings.
Hello?
We're in the basement, and Mick is talking to a floating head, and it thinks it's talking to Father Louis, but it's starting to get real bad.
Right.
I told you. Oh wait, no, she can't hear that. Never mind.
First off, congrats on using the phone correctly. Real proud of you. I feel like what shows up on my phone is like a real blurry picture of Edith because V couldn't get her to sit still.
Yeah, maybe a thumb. Like,
Perfect. Okay. Stay put. Simeon and I will be right there. And I'll keep the line open just in case I need to track her whereabouts, and I will tell Sarah to hang out with some orphans. And I will take, my nose itches, Simeon down to the basement.
Simeon, are you following?
Yes. Do I have like a map through the VR?
Nope, there is no overlay here in this area. What is the first tenet of piety in the papacy? You're muted, bud. Sorry. Ben, you're still muted, bud.
It was a beautiful soliloquy.
It was. I
Sure, it was
actually,
awesome.
for the first half of it, thought you were just mouthing an
Sorry,
answer.
the screaming child is going to run by, so I have to click it off. Sorry, everybody.
No,
Okay,
sorry.
so this. Well, Padre, I I'm just a layman. I'm not, obviously, I'm not Father Louis, but I do believe that the Book of Malraux, Malraux 1:2, says that the only way to salvation is to accept that Jean Malraux is God's representative here on earth. Not untrue.
Why don't you give me a trick roll there, Mick?
Am I being interrogated?
You are.
Does this thing have a mind?
It does.
Oh man, what's the mind on this thing?
14.
14. Okay. All right. So I'm want to use my glib tongue perk,
Okay.
which I make a mind test, and then all of my persuasion rolls, and I think I have to look it up, are favored. On good, theirs are disfavored, and on outstanding, I get an up.
Okay. It's Mr. Furious. Just a 14. No big deal.
I know, I'm not that smart. Either. This is the main problem.
Can we trade cards? Or
Okay.
We're not in combat. We can trade cards.
A 16, real glasses, is a +3. Nah, that's not going to do it.
With 3 extra points help?
Yeah, would a +3 help?
It'll help, but it won't solve the problem. So let me see what I got. I will play a drama. Make it 26. 9. All right, now I'm there.
What'd you get?
So I got a 17.
So that's
Which will just give me favored on my trying to fool this thing.
All right, you give me a trick roll and we'll come right back to you. So V and Simeon, you make your way down to the basement. As you get there, you come around the corner, V, and you can see Father Louis has his hands on the stone as if he's trying to lever something open and it's not working. Or perhaps close something fast.
Louis, what are you doing? Do you
He
need some help?
turns. V, Genevieve, what are you doing down here?
Well, my friend is on the other side of the door and successfully used a cell phone, so bonus point to her, and called and told me that they're stuck in a room down here.
Genevieve, I need you to leave. If you have friends in there, I will deal with them.
Louis, you know that I don't leave friends behind.
I'm not asking you to leave friends behind. I am asking you to let me deal with them.
What do you mean by
Deal with
deal
them
with them?
We do not have time. I need to get this door open, and I cannot do that when I'm talking with you.
Do you need help?
Very well. Come here. He points out, and Simeon, you can kind of see the overlay as well. This whole, the stone has been over, like, there is a thin layer of circuitry that has been laid into the wall just under the surface of the stone that as Louis starts to trace it with his finger, you start to see the locking system and the defenses kind of laid out before you. We need help getting past this, and he highlights one of the nodes.
Okay.
And he says, this should not be. Someone is trying to keep me out. So it would be a computer roll from you, V. Let me jump over to what you get on your trick.
13.
13 is not good enough. Do you want to spend? I mean, if it's got a mind of 14, do you want to spend anything?
Nah, I'll fall on this grenade.
The digital image grows angry. You can quote the scriptures, you do not speak the truth. It just said even the cyber demons can quote the scriptures when it suits their ends. And so I'm just gonna need your, if I have my notes correctly, I have your dodge at 13, Mick. All right, so Mick, V or not V? Oh no, the 20. Dice are starting off good tonight.
Good dice.
So Edith, you see a bolt of lightning come out of the light from above and kind of pin Mick to the floor, transfixing him for a moment, showing you, I know it's scary, but you're from a Roche. Everyone is a skeleton inside of them. And you just saw Mick's. So, Mick, what is... All right, so your dodge is 13. I got a plus 11. All right, so this is an outstanding success. I'm so sorry, Mick.
Are you though?
I mean, I am. The computer is
His
not.
dice aren't so.
Yeah, like listen, like this is so Mick, your it is AP 4, so you are currently at a toughness of 8. Is that correct?
That is correct, because I was 12 with 4 armor.
So Mick, that would be 4 wounds and 8 shock.
Shoot dang.
Okay?
I assume you will want to spend a possibility to soak.
Yes, I will do that.
Edith, it sort of smells like burnt
I'm gonna
Mick.
play hot.
Kind of like Mick's
What?
hair is sticking out from under his hat.
I got a 22 on the roll, and that will take my spirit to a 16.
All right, so a 16 will drop you to taking 2 wounds and no shock. Simeon and V, you hear a crackle. You see some light escape out from under the door. It's this arctenic light, like a bright flash, and then it's gone, and you all smell ozone in the air.
I'm a little bit fried, but I'll turn to Edith and say, I honestly thought I was doing a pretty good Louis impression.
I think he can see you.
But he said he heard his voice. My bad.
In case you were wondering, that was approximately 1.21 gigawatts of electricity passing through your body.
Meh.
V, what did you get?
22.
Now, can I assist her? Or like, if she's working to try to get the door open, if I try to counter the counter attacks, can I?
Do you have any ranks or any ads in computers?
I do. I do not.
More... Okay.
Okay.
So, I will still let you. You can give her a +1 to the roll just from aiding her with, like understanding, like kind of not aiding her, but sort of helping her keep an eye out on the pathways, on that sort of thing. This is really more of a hacking attack, if you will.
Okay.
While they're doing that, can I play alertness?
Sure.
Yeah.
You notice an otherwise unseen item, clue, or event. I am just...
You're just open to anything.
I'm trying to figure out what is going on here.
So you notice that Mick's beard is now, it seems fuller and like poofier. You notice a couple of things, Edith. First of all of the smoke rising from Mick, there do seem to be it's kind of being drawn to other parts of the room, almost as if this is not the only chamber here.
Okay.
But you also notice that even though you've been talking to Mick, the computer has never actually responded to you.
Right.
It never actually even responded to Mick. It just responded to the fact that someone entered the door open and entered the room.
It doesn't know that there's here.
It does not. And for an alertness card, I feel like you should get something else. Anything else you want to kind of...
So I noticed that there's other rooms. I noticed that whatever it is that we're interacting with only knows that one person is here, and it doesn't know that it's not Father Louis.
Yeah. Mr. Furious can have a Back to the Future possibility.
What do I notice about the setup?
What you notice about the setup, Edith, is that it seems very, very familiar. And as you look at it, you realize you have seen it before. It's the same setup that was in the Delphi Council headquarters in Philadelphia, the one that was managing all of the data for their undercover program.
Okay. Oh, good.
The door opens behind you. You can hear it open up, and thankfully, there's the dank, damp smell of the catacombs comes flooding into the room, sort of washing away the smell of electrified Mick. Simeon, the door opens, Louis comes rushing in, and you can see that Mick is standing in this cinderous circle of light, smoldering, like smoking as if, and there is a scorch mark on the ground underneath him. His boots, as he kind of, Mick staggers out of the light, you can see that there are little, almost tarry boot prints that get left behind as he kind of stumbles out of the light.
You play a tough game, Padre.
You did. He looks to V. It isn't what it looks like. You can see the ebon scrux has been carved into the wall on multiple blank stone faces, and there's this hard light computer display. You hear from behind you, I told you he was in league with the ebon scrux. Louis, where did you go? Do you not want to play anymore?
Do you want to explain what's going on here, Father?
Not in the presence of this thing.
Do you need to take care of it?
It'll deactivate if we leave the room. This is my demon to bear, not yours.
Okay, let's leave the room.
Are you okay? He asks you, Mick.
I take a slap patch out of my ear, slap it on my neck like a big old quit smoking patch, and I'll slowly heal one wound, and I'll be like, "Oh, I've been in the middle of bigger explosions than that, Padre."
Come with me. And he goes, kind of he heads back into sort of the more proper area of the monastery, leading you all to the into the rectory, into kind of the place where he takes his meals. I am sorry you had to see that, and I am even sorrier that you had to experience that. Me, you know me. You know that I oppose Melro, that I have no love for him or this invasion for the Evanscrux. But as it says in the book, be sure your deeds will find you out. Have you noticed, V, that as long as we've known each other, I haven't aged? I look the same. I believe you know where I come from. I came over to help those who I knew would be hurt by Melro and his church. But I existed before that. You know this cosm, you know the papacy, you know it is rife with suspicion and double crosses. Nothing is as it appears to be. Not even our infernal leader is as in control of everything as he thinks. The Evanscrux seeks to free himself, itself, theirselves, from Melro. To that end, they have been working to create a more perfect High Lord, one in which the Evanscrux exists as a unholy parody of Father, Son, and Spirit. Both the head, the face, and the power of the church in one being. There are others like me, are failed attempts to do that. I told you what he was, Sarah says.
So, Father, can I ask you a question?
I feel as if I owe you more than just answers, but please.
Does that make you and the Pope twins, or at least genetically similar?
Perhaps. I know that when I go out into the papacy, the Evanscrux can see me. This is why I live as I do. And I know that it may seem strange to have what I have. in the catacombs. But it is my access to the Godnet, the way I help and aid. That is the guardian. Evan Scrux has grown wise. As the guardian that it has set, the demon that bars my way into the Godnet. Sometimes I overcome it and bring it to Cal. Other times it prevents me from accessing what I need. I realize this must be a lot to take in. He kind of gets down on his knees next to where you're sitting, V. Please, V. I'm sorry. I did not mean for my secrets to injure your friends, to put you in a compromised position.
What is it that you were doing when you were accessing the Godnet?
I know that the darkness device has to be doing this. Again, I seek those like me. I seek those it may perfect. And I seek to aid those from the monastery who go out into the world. That's how I knew what was going on with you. I was able to retain some of the abilities that the Evan Scrux wish to cultivate in simulacrums. And I try as often as I can to use those against Melro. A likely story. How come none of this came out until you were caught red-handed?
We'll turn to Sarah and say, it's dangerous to act on assumptions. If I had acted on assumption, you would still be sitting in a cell rotting as a cyber or as a whatever, a dark conspiracy, whatever. So maybe we should hold off on assumptions, until we hear the whole story and not jump to conclusions.
It is a fair assessment. I cannot imagine what you are thinking or your allies are thinking, but I do not blame this young woman. To see what one has seen, right after being taken by the Inquisition, it makes sense. But I believe I know you have to go to the mountain. If we can get past the Guardian, I believe I can make your accessing of the reliquary easier.
That would be a huge help.
What is it that we could do to help you get past the Guardian?
The Guardian is... The Guardian is a entity, a techno-gnostic construct. I can have jacks and sensor nodes we could use to bring your friends into the godnet. You could just hear Sarah's, like, you can see her eyes roll, and she bites her tongue when you look at her. I understand. But the only way to defeat this angel is to attack it, to distract it. If we can't defeat it, at least we can provide a distraction so that you can get around and use my access to get into the mountain. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it is a very powerful angel, a host, or even a Babel monitor. And you can just see all the blood drains from Sarah's face. But if we can get past it, I will engage it. Perhaps you don't need to do more than help me distract it so that it focuses on me and you can slip past. But I can keep the doorway open for you. I know I can.
She'll look to Father Louis and say, even with this revelation, I have very little cause to doubt you. I have spent most of my life under your care. And if I haven't noticed you age, it's because I always thought I saw you through the eyes of a 6-year-old. And in those eyes, one never ages. So I don't think I could ever notice that you hadn't aged. So if you say that you can get us in and keep the door open, I am willing to place my trust in you. What I am and everything I know I owe to you, and I don't believe you've led me astray this far.
Sarah kind of walks right up to me. You can't be serious. What if he betrays you? You'll have no way out.
It's not much difference than if I were to jump in one of the nodes that I know. If anything, at least I have a foot in the door here. When I go in through one of mine, I don't have a door jam. I just have to trust it stays open.
I don't trust him.
I'm not asking you to come with us.
No, and I wouldn't want to. But I owe you my life. And if this thing thinks it can take on whatever the Guardian is, then maybe you just need an extra set of eyes. Perhaps a bit of extra firepower to keep the door open. I won't go with you, but I'll stand in the gate with this.
Now, Father Louis, you said that there are others like you. Have you found them, and do they have like mind?
There are some who exist within the papacy and have no idea who or what they are. High-ranking cyber knights. There is even rumors that the High Monitor is one. Never encountered them. I've heard, felt echoes of something in the Godnet, something new. But where it is, whether it is here or in what was Brazil, I do not know. But that kind of unhallowed data is beyond the scope of my knowledge.
Well, if V tells me to trust Father Hodor and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I guess I'm in.
Sarah kind of rolls her eyes, but you definitely get the feeling that she gets what you're saying.
Korra forever, baby.
Is there a better time than not to go, Father? Or is it just whenever we're...
Whenever you are ready, I will prepare meditation.
Okay.
But that will bring us to the end of an act. So I'm going to let people refresh their possibilities. And starting with John. John, do you want to get rid of any cards? And do you want to draw? Are you down below 4?
I am at 4. I will take 1 card.
What are you getting rid of?
Martyr.
What? Why don't you want the card that says, I die to prove the situation is serious? All right, John, your new card is Connection. Patty, do you need any cards, and do you want to get rid of any cards?
I need 1 card, and I'm not getting rid of any.
All right. Idea.
Okay.
Lily. 2 cards. Second Chance and Hero. And then Ben. 1 card.
1 card. Losing none.
Transfer.
I already have that power.
Do you?
That's
Oh,
my power.
that is your power. I'm going to give you a different one.
Hey, you can have a possibility, buddy.
I'll take
What?
it, and you
No,
can have
what?
a glory.
Hey, glory. Oh, this is coming up Millhouse.
That is true, Mr. Furious. I have never ended a scene in the middle of a session. I tried to time it, but we had a weird ending last time, so I decided to do it here. All right. Is there anything you guys would be doing to prepare before you head into the Godnet? Are all of you planning to head into the Godnet? Or some of you not planning to head into the Godnet? What is?
I'm going.
Yeah, I don't think I have, Mr. Furious, just to point that out. I don't think I've ever ended a scene in the middle of a session.
V is going to work on crafting the perfect avatars for whoever comes into the Godnet with her. I have ideas.
Who saw that coming? Everyone in chat? Yeah, no, I thought that was the case. Sinian, what are you planning on doing? Is there anything you want to do with this time?
I'm drawing a blank. Because I don't have the background to do likewise, but because the Godnet is kind of new to me, so yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Edith, is there anything you want to be doing?
Now, I can't take my physical weapons into the Godnet with me, right?
Not your physical weapons, but much like the movie that they are made out of, there are drawing from, right? There are mental constructs that you are able to.
Because I would make some bolts, but if I'm not taking the bolts with me, then I don't need to.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did have an idea.
Okay.
So, the thing I haven't, kind of unleashed that we were kind of talking about before, or, I was wondering if I could turn those into something that could be used in the GodNet.
They would essentially work. Your weapons, your armor, and other equipment appear as they do in the flesh. So
Okay,
you basically get to use them how you would.
Okay.
Jim, is there a way in the Abbey to craft an area of holographic images to maybe do some practice runs with this group of things they might see or experience in the GodNet? Like lay some... Okay.
Not in the Abbey. Like, remember that the Abbey, aside from this one hidden vault, is like a technology null zone.
Okay. Mick, do you need to be in touch with the analyst? We kind of dropped off the radar.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to call the people I work for and tell them that.
Don't tell them you're here.
Okay, I can't tell you guys where I am, but we were just at this other place that I don't want to talk about either. But we may have let a mutant who steals spaces take the place of the acting Inquisitor, and he may now be like running amok in the papacy. And I know we're not supposed to cause an international incident because technically you recognize the cyber papacy and working with them diplomatically, and I'm so sorry. But the good news is you just see her like write notes down in an old school folder file, and you're pretty sure you see your picture paper clipped on the front of that file. I have a big permanent record. But I do want to quickly requisition piety score chips for all of us. I think we had standard. I want to go for priest level.
Yeah. So Edith, by the way, you don't have to craft the bolts, but you can tell me which ones you would be preparing, because when you go into the GodNet, you will have access to those bolts. So.
Yeah, probably mostly electric bolts, but I'll look.
Okay.
Will a 15 get us higher piety chips?
Yeah. I will say that yes, they are definitely going to give you higher piety chips. You now have each have piety scores right around the 250 range. They're not all identical, because that's a sure sign that somebody...
Giant red flag.
That's right. It's like not tuning your aimbot real well, and definitely getting caught on your play of the game. I'm looking right at you, whoever did that on Reddit. So, wow.
I want to tell the guys that I talked to my dude and I got his fake IDs.
Now you guys can all buy cyber boots.
Bramblebar Cumbersnitch? What is this name you got for me?
I'll have one regular human beer, please.
All right. So Edith, not Edith. Edith is crafting bolts. V is working on avatars. Now, just V, remember, for the GodNet, right? This is someone's soul literally transferring into the GodNet.
Mm-hmm.
So their representation of their avatar is not necessarily crafted unless you you specifically craft a fake avatar. This is their truest if you were to take someone's self-image that they hold in their mind, that is what is projected into the god then.
Correct. But as part of my cyber deck, I have spoofed IDs. Because it's a stealthy cyber deck. And I
Okay.
can change them out. So that's why I was like, crafting.
So I'm going to need you to give me, that works for you, I'm going to need you to give me a computer's roll to craft everyone else's.
Coincidentally, Edith's soul looks just like a garbage pail kid.
Ooh, Edith, I had actually upgraded you, but I'm going to wait to reveal it. Okay.
I want to be a koala-shaped monster truck.
Wait,
Ooh,
is
that's
that
a
how
10.
Mick sees his soul? Or is that you are asking
Eight.
V to craft your soul into?
Okay, that's Javen Parker's personal soul animal. That's
25?
not necessarily.
I feel like these would be the best stickers to make available.
Oh, I can't. Okay, should I just tell you what I'm trying to craft them into now, or should I wait until we enter? I got a 25.
You got a 25? So here's the thing. What I will say is everyone okay with the crafting your avatars, or do you have anything you would like to? Okay. Then in that
Even
case,
if it's me, I'm happy with it. If
Oh,
I
it's
look
not
like a
mean.
Bratz doll,
It's gonna be delightful.
all right.
So. Okay. Yeah, I rolled a 25.
All right. So now here's my question: are you guys going in pretty quickly? Are you resting at all? What's your time frame here?
I still have a wound.
Oh yeah, we should probably rest and heal because,
Yeah,
you know, some of us have taken wounds.
I have a wound.
So if you have wounds, you may go ahead and make your test to heal yourself.
I have medicine. Does that help?
Medicine will help. You would have to make a medicine check on each person
Okay.
who has taken damage. And the way that works, Maddie, is you would make a medicine roll. Each success reduces 1 point of the penalties they would make to their strength check to recover. So
Okay.
basically, normally they're going to make a strength check minus their wound penalties. You can sort of negate some of those wound penalties. So who needs Maddie to roll medicine for them? All right, so
and
Mick.
Edith.
I failed my test to heal, so I will go to V and say, "Does this look infected?"
Okay.
Well, she can only reduce the penalty by 1, Mick. So
Okay.
Oh, I know it's definitely. This is a hard one to heal. You know, like the Chicago song.
So I rolled a 15 for Edith and a 16 for Mick.
all right, so Edith, how many wounds do you have right now?
Just one.
Okay, so you get to make it with no penalty. And Mick, I'm assuming 1 point would not have allowed you to heal it. Now, it definitely looks infected, V.
Now, Mick, I have a
I'm gonna
regeneration.
rub some dirt on it.
I have a regeneration serum.
Oh, buddy, do I drink it or rub it on there?
Oh, I figure it's
You can hit me
probably
like
it's probably
Slapface,
like an
that's how it
injection.
works.
I think it's like an injection, probably. 'Cause, I mean,
Oh, needles?
yeah.
Does Mick prefer wounds to needles?
He's not incredibly brave. I'm gonna say that now.
Well, hey, look over there.
Anything? Like, it's
Oh,
like
yeah. Trick me and stab me. That's exactly what I want you to do. Distract me and stab me. Yeah.
So yeah.
That is. What?
So
and then what is the regeneration serum?
I wrote it down on my equipment. I don't know if I'm not sure what source.
If I
book
get
that's out
monkey
of.
leg,
But it did say that it was a weird science object, so I'm assuming I need to roll a science roll.
We'll come right back to that, John.
Yeah.
Edith, what did you?
Um,
What's the success in this?
This is a 10 plus or minus your wound penalties, which you don't have any right now.
Right. So I was successful with the 12.
Okay, so you recover your wound.
Now, can I do medicine on myself, or does someone else have to do that?
I believe. Let me open up back to my core rulebook. I believe you have to have somebody else do medicine on you.
Okay.
How wounded are you, Maddie?
I have 1 wound, and I don't think I succeeded. I think I have a 7.
Yeah, you would need to get.
I'll give Maddie a slap back.
All right.
Great.
Well, fine, Mick.
Still have 2, lady.
All right. So, after hours of rest, requisitions,
Do we have any idea where we're going?
you do. You have the location of the reliquary vault from the Delphi Council information from the analyst.
Okay.
So, after rest, recovery, regeneration serums, the next morning you sort of gather together, ready to attempt to distract this guardian and head into the Godnet. Any other? Yeah. Any other ideas? Things you would wish to do, or go from there? Or are we ready to jump in?
So as we go in, JM, I'm gonna pick Ice Pick as my additional program in my cyber deck, and Digital Swerve. I have the option to store like 2 additional programs on top of the sneaky and the data mining and the one that lets me have avatars.
All right. All right. So, Father Louis will lead you down the stairs into, John, if it's a weird science item, we'll just say that you are able to inject them with it, and that it recovers 1 wound. It recovers the wound for you. So, as you head down, Father Louis again opens up the door to this vault. And as you enter in, the lights come back on. Evan's cruxes are illuminated. The the hard light displays arise. But Father Louis ignores the computer when it says, "Welcome back, Louis. Are we going to continue our game tonight?" And he heads towards one of the Evan's cruxes, and when he puts his hand on it, you can see like the light, the carving or the etching of the Evan's crux lights up, but the light is coming out of Father Louis's hand, and you can see that it's the light is actually like tracing circuitry under his skin. And the door kind of moves in silently and slides to the side, and you can see there are about a dozen of these nodes that are sensory devices. You've used them before to access the Cur. Something similar here. It doesn't look nearly as terrifying or implanty as the other ones. And Sarah is there with you, and she's kind of twitchy and looks around, but you can see that she, at some point, you're not sure when or where, but while you were resting, she acquired a cyber deck. All right, are we going to do this?
I'll turn to Sarah and be like, are you familiar with that deck? Do you have any questions?
I'm sorry, what was that, Maddie?
I was just going to turn to Sarah and just ask if she was familiar with the deck that she has, if she has any questions.
No, I know what I'm doing here. The real question is, and Father Louis nods as if he knows what she is going to say, and she gives him the side eye. The real question is this a brute force attack? Or are we going to try and distract it and get around it?
I mean, I prefer stealth. It's what my deck is built for, and my hacking is built around, is stealth.
I mean, I thought the whole idea was that Father Louis is distracting it.
I need your help getting us all into and past the gate. I will keep the door open for you.
Okay.
All right, so mechanically, just because this is Torg and we're on a stream and we're showing this off, you've got two options here. If you go in brute force, you will fight a Babylon. If you're going to try and get around it in any way, shape, or form, that will be a dramatic task resolution that you will have to engage in, and everyone will have to participate in some way, shape, or form. So, as a group, which would you like to do?
Option number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, John, you're off.
Oh, that's what I was going to...
All right. Father Louis kind of comes around and leads you all onto the couches, starts putting electrodes and sensory overlays.
One of these Beats by Dre. Thank you, Padre.
It's actually Beats by Padre. And come on, Lily. Not even a possibility from you. Like I got the eye roll. So thanks, Ben. I appreciate the pity laugh. And he goes, all right. In nomine Patris, and as he starts to say a prayer over you, everything kind of dissolves, kind of flowing down over your vision into this silvery mist. And the curtain, when it parts, you are all standing on the edge of a cliff. You can hear the wind roaring beneath your feet, and you can see this bridge that kind of arcs over this vast chasm where you can't see anything. You can hear the flapping of wings, leathery wings beneath the cliff. And the bridge looks like a blade that has been stretched out across toward this mountain, this vast mountain of light. But as you look around, Maddie, what does everyone see?
Well, so we'll start with Mick, our newest member. And in my mind, Mick looks like a popular children's TV personality from several years ago with a yellow bucket hat and a plaid shirt and some like blue jean overalls, and probably has a hammer in one hand and a wrench in the other hand. And if he had a vehicle, it would be a dump truck, but he doesn't currently have a vehicle with him.
Yeah.
And I am Bill Thing, and my name might be Robert.
Exactly.
Can we construct it?
Simeon, playing off of his new adaptations, looks a little bit shorter, now has a fabulous long tail, but the best part is the giant yellow hat that Simeon is now rocking, and you look fabulous in it. Edith is dressed in all black, with giant eyes that has a whole bunch of black glitter eyeshadow on, and a tool belt, but it's all makeup products. And some interesting clothing get-ups that can be interchanged if need be. And then last but not least, V looks like an 8-year-old redhead from a popular movie series that came out a few years ago. Small, little, confused-looking boy, kind of the sidekick maybe to a more famous character.
Okay. Standing next to these are two other figures. One that is definitely giving you all kind of a WTF look is you see Sarah is there. She is wearing kind of almost a trench coat similar to Edith's, although you can see on the inside it's lined with hexagons that there seems to be like kind of a dark blue light coming between each hexagonal plate. And she stands there, and you can see that she has, a pair of God meter pistols strapped down, and she is bearing a lot of the imagery of the papacy, but it's all very subtly. Like on first glance, she looks like she belongs here, but as you kind of look, each icon, each rosary, each little image is off or broken in a very key way, kind of keying into the fact that while she was raised in this kind of tradition, she's breaking with it slowly. Father Louis appears as a much as he does in the flesh, except for the fact that he has these glowing ribbons of light that kind of extend from his shoulder and kind of flow back like a long cape, but not like a single cape, almost as if there are 6, there are 3 on each side, and you kind of, when you look at them, you get the idea that there may be feathers as part of this thing. It's very hard to kind of keep track of, and if you catch him out of the corner of your eye, he definitely has more eyes than you remember, except when you stare at him, he only has the pair, but they're shining like bright diamonds in his skull. And so, here's the thing. At the far end of the bridge, you can see the Guardian, beyond which is a massive, hard light, beautiful, golden and pearlescent, golden and nacreous gate. There's no wall because the gate stands in the middle of the bridge. So basically, you have to pass through the gate to get there. And then you can see further beyond the mountain just towers. It stands taller than anything in the flesh has any right to exist. So the question is, this is V's arc. You've all had your moments. So Maddie, you let me know when to stop shuffling the drama deck, and we will get into our dramatic task.
How about now?
Now? All right, you want me to cut or just draw the top one off the deck?
Cut, please.
All right.
There looks good. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So the first card is Nod Off. In the GotNet, computers may be used instead of taunt to make taunt actions this round, if you choose. Taunt and trick are the approved actions, and luckily for you guys, A and B are both steps on this card. So the goal is to find a way past the Guardian, open the gates, and get into the mountain. All right? Now I will say, villains go first, and heroes will suffer a surge in this dramatic task. So good luck. But as you can watch, the Guardian here is the same face, except it's only one face. There's the kind of like the computerized, digitized face that almost seems human. And then you can see above it is the face of a raven. To the left is the face of an ox, and to the right is the face of a lion. And it's got multiple wings, and its paws are the paws of a lion. And as it starts to stalk towards the far end of the gate, you can hear from its four-throated voice, "Father Louis, we see you." And it is going to try to taunt Father Louis. So that's not good. I'm just going to add another one on these for good measure. 15, 30, 40. You can see that something in, you don't know whether it's the voice or the way it is modulated, but you can see, who is this masked man? Also, go Bears. You can see Father Louis takes involuntary steps forward, and you can almost see like this mask of rage, inhuman rage. It doesn't even look like Louis at this point. His face is twisted in this angry expression. All right, heroes, give me your surge rolls, and then tell me what how you are trying to get past.
We're just trying to not. What are we trying to do?
Cross the bridge is the first task.
Oh, for the surge.
Oh, for the surge, you roll a d20, and let me know if you get a 1.
What happens if we get a 20 on a surge roll?
Yeah, what if we get
Like
a 20?
that.
3 natural 20s?
Sweet, you all got 20s. They are meaningless. It's like points in a game of Whose Line.
Full of.
Well, I feel like 3 of them is a good sign.
I feel like we've
all
wasted
just
all.
20s. Yeah.
No, don't say that.
I'm really glad you got all
Yeah,
of
but
those.
glory
out.
because I feel like that adds up to 60, and
Right there we go. Glory. Boom. Done.
we should have glory.
Meh, I got an 8.
All right, so the first step of the task is crossing the bridge. Who's got an idea on how they can get the group across this? Now
I do.
remember.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead, John. What's your idea?
So, I was wondering if I could kind of fashion almost like a zip line device thing to ride under the bridge, like to attach the underside of the bridge, so that as Father Louis is on top, we are
Sneaking our way underneath.
unseen by like a pulley system, or like
Now, so
powered.
you have those, so
Sorry?
you can definitely use one of them to make a zip line in the Godnet. Now, I will say, you guys have a certain number of cards that I will be drawing that you have to complete all of the tasks in that time. John, if you would like to take a multi-action, because both A and B are listed on the card,
Yes.
you could use this first card to not only get the group across the bridge, but you could use maneuver or stealth or come up with some other way to ensure that the Guardian does not notice you and you can get past the Guardian. Would you like to do that?
Yes, definitely.
All right, go ahead and give me the roll, John. Now you have multi-threading,
Right.
so you do not take the first penalty for 2 actions. And you guys can see the veins on the head of his avatar.
So is this
Kind of pulse with an
a science
unnatural
roll?
light.
Is that what? Or is this a science roll? Mind? Or
No, it's actually the first. So the first one would be maneuver, but you'd be using your gizmo to give you the chance to do this. And the second one is how are you going to get past the Guardian without being noticed? And feel free for anyone at the table to give John advice on what skills to use, scenarios, that sort of thing. You're all part of this. John is just the active roller for this.
Well, John, if you go all out, that gives you an automatic +4. So it would give you just a 4 at the end of, once you add the numbers up, add 4 more on.
Okay.
But it will leave you vulnerable. But it shouldn't, if we're not attacking anyone, you being vulnerable shouldn't matter.
right.
Especially
Okay.
because, but you know, it's a +4.
But how are you guys going to get past the watchful gaze of the Guardian?
Well, I think
Going
that,
underneath.
Well,
Yeah.
you're crossing the bridge. So I'm guessing a stealth roll would be the second one. If you're using this under the bridge to kind of get under its notice as well. All right, John, give me the
Right.
roll.
okay. So first is the maneuver. So 52. That brings me to a 9, and then if I'm doing an all out,
Maneuver would be
Or,
Do you maneuver under here? Or
yeah,
is your
my
maneuver
maneuver's
up top?
7.
Okay.
So yeah, so 9 plus the 4. Do I know a target that I'm trying to get?
You don't know it at the start. You tell me what you get.
Because
and
that
I'll
gets
tell
me
you.
to a 16, or not a 16, 13. What do we think? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a possibility and, so that is it's 15, 17, 32. So 10, 17 plus the 4, 21.
All right, so a 21 on the maneuver, and is that the same for the stealth as well?
I have not done the stealth yet.
So it'd be
So
the
it's
same.
the same roll,
Oh,
John.
it's the same rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Just
you
now
were
apply
at
your stealth.
Stealth.
So a plus 10.
Yeah.
My
plus
stealth
10.
is no, that's strength. Where's stealth?
Stealth is dex if you haven't taken any ads in it.
And my dex is the same as my. Oh wait, that's movement, not maneuver. Actually, what is my maneuver?
Maneuver should be under interaction skills.
So actually, the maneuver would have been, what did I say, a 21?
You said 21. Yeah.
So 3 more. So actually, my maneuver is a 24, and then we were doing a dex. So that's a 21.
Okay. So you guys watch as Simeon pulls out this strange contraption, fires a bolt across the the arc of the bridge where it connects on the far side in front of the gate, hands you all of these zipline connectors, and very quietly, all 4 of you go sailing across this chasm, getting around the Cheruic Guardian. Now, as you kind of pull yourself up, you can definitely see there are large things with leathery bat wings flying under the bridge. Some of them are roosting, holding onto the underside of this blade, but they seem to ignore you. The next card is Here Comes Something. At the beginning of the round, the villains are reinforced with a group of hordes at the Game Master's choice. Villains will go first. Heroes are confused, so you may not play cards this round from your action pool. And it is a possible setback, which means if you don't succeed at opening the gate, you will go back to trying to get around the cherub. So as you
Which actions are approved?
the approved actions are attack. As the cherub moves down the gate, and Father Louis, kind of consumed with this overriding desire to kill or to engage with this with the Guardian, you can hear over your comms. Sarah goes, "Oh God, we've got company." And you guys can see that a host of angels kind of descend on the far side of the cliff where you came, and you can hear the hymns to Malraux, which have kind of been twisted in a way, so you're not really sure if they're singing praises condemning those they're fighting or condemning Malraux himself as Sarah goes to engage the angels, and you can just see there are just blasts of light, iridescent colors, flashes from different parts of the spectrum as Louis engages the cherub. You now stand before this gate. It is a technological construct of hard light code. You can actually, as you look at each of the bars, you guys can all see numbers and symbols kind of racing up, floating up and down, almost lava lamp-ish, as the code of the Godnet bars your way.
Hey V, you got any guesses on how bad it would be if I used an electro bolt on the gate?
Would I jam?
You can give. Do you have evidence analysis?
I do.
Go ahead and give me an evidence analysis roll.
Ooh, that's a 19. 6, 22.
You know that the code gates of the Godnet are delicate and intricate things and should definitely not be subjected to percussive maintenance.
So, meaning it would or wouldn't work.
It could possibly work. It may be a higher difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I also
for
have,
electric flash bolts. They can cause glitches in high-tech electronic equipment. Robots and machines takes extra damage. Sensitive equipment shorts out and is inoperable for 3 rounds.
I also have ads in evidence analysis. Can I also try?
No, you've already gone.
Okay.
You were involved in
Well, I
kind of
mean, okay.
All right, so
Edith,
Edith,
it's up to you. You can do it or I can try and lockpick it. It's up to you.
I feel that this is a problem that I can solve.
Great. Go
And,
for it. In my head,
Pretty good.
your electric bolt is actually an electric blue lipstick.
Edith drops out the monster hunting crossbow, loads the lipstick in, and it's sparking. Edith, please give me your attack roll.
I'm gonna roll that again because I don't love it.
Please do.
17.
Total of 17. Right, so that is not a outstanding success, but that is a good success. You get adrenaline in your hand.
I haven't.
You can't play a card right now because heroes are confused. But you guys see Edith just sort of drops the crossbow to her hip, pulls the trigger, and this little dart goes flying out and hits the center of the lock. And the code kind of rushes towards it and forms 2 cherubic faces that are facing each other at the keyhole. And then the bolt goes off and they both dissolve into a shower of lights, and the gate swings open.
Do, 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 do.
However,
No, nuts.
the paths up the mountain are myriad. For as information wants to be free, there are many ways to go up the mountain, to ascend the mountain, to find the reliquary vaults, even with your the information you have been provided by the Delphi Council. So,
It's very upsetting that you can't play an idea card yet.
the new card is, oh, you guys lucked out here. Free your mind. A, B, and D, so you can achieve the final step. So this is going to be either V or Mick, because you guys are all contributing to this. If a player describes how their character is taking a creative action, any skill tests this round based on mind are favored. So if you can come up with a creative way that you are going to apply the skill to do this, heroes go first, villains are stymied, and intimidate or trick are the approved actions. So how are you finding your way up the mountain to get to the reliquary vault?
I had an idea, that we could tag team this, and if you think that you could somehow summon a digital Sherpa, I could persuade that Sherpa to take us up the mountain at the easiest path.
So basically summon a digital sprite.
An
to
AI,
carry-
a guide,
yeah,
or some,
yeah.
like a program, or not even some craft a program that is a that's a GPS guy. it's turn 5 miles up the mountain, turn left.
So Maddie, if you would like to do this, you guys would both be favored on this. You would be favored on this because you would make a computer roll to summon the spirit, and then Mick would have to convince the spirit to take you to the reliquary vault, saying, no, we totally belong here. This is where we have to go.
Okay. Ugh. Neither of those were great. Is 18 enough, or do I need to spend a possibility on it?
18 is enough to get a basic AI sprite here. If you would like to get something even better, you will have counted as aiding Mick on his roll and giving him a +1 to his final total.
8. So it would be a 26 then?
Okay. So yes, what is this GPS digital sprite Sherpa kind of look like?
What?
Tengu Norde. He's the most famous Sherpa of all Sherpas.
Oh,
Am I saying
see,
it right?
I think
Chat, everybody?
V can't quite hear Mick because he's stuffed. So she creates a little sheepa.
I want you to know, Mick, if you fail this roll, I know exactly what the Sheepa is going to say to you. But you can see V is literally pulling code from the GodNet, weaving it together with programs within her deck. And suddenly, in a sort of a popping noise, accompanied by tufts of wool, this large golden fleeced sheep with 2 large packs hanging off of it
Yes.
just pops into existence.
I love it. This is what you asked for, right?
I will obviously
As you look at
I will refer to the sheep lovingly as Dolly. It's good to see you, Dolly. I know most sheeps, especially the clones, and we are in cyber fantasy, are Dollies. And what is Dolly's mind?
Dolly's mind is so Maddie also got an outstanding success, so we'll just toss this out. Dolly's mind is 8.
8. Okay, great.
Bless Dolly.
All right, so a 17 will give me a. So, okay, so I'm favored. That's all I get out of it. All I get out of Glib Tongue is favored. All right, here I go. First of all, we are merely pilgrims, like those on the road to Canterbury. We seek admission to the mountain, and we shall share our tales with you, sheep, on the way.
As you look at it, you can see 2 things clearly. One, there are lines of code running in the black orbs of Dolly's head. And also, you can see written across Dolly's head is D011Y.
Okay, so I will have a 17 on persuasion.
Okay. So with a 17 on persuasion, you guys successfully complete your dramatic text resolution. And as you head up the mountain, you can see there are nests of nodes that function like little pilgrimages or monasteries on the side of the mountain. You can see a variety of vault doors set into the mountain. But soon, you find the vault that you feel I just need to keep getting.
I'm Little Bo Peep now. I have a sheep. I'm Little Bo Peep.
What you guys don't know about Restar is that he has a costume for every occasion, and they're all. That's why he does the digital background, so you can't see his menagerie. So you ascend the mountain Little Bo Peep style, leading the sheep or being led by the sheep.
Led by the
And
sheep.
soon you arrive near the summit of the mountain, and you can see angels flying around, cyber hosts moving about the mountain in various shapes. You can see the tremors that indicate Babel monitors kind of about. You find yourself before this massive golden vault door set into the side of the mountain that matches the code that you were given for the location of the grimoire.
Question.
Yes, Maddie.
Did Mick and I get cards for that last one?
No, neither of you rolled intimidate or trick.
Okay.
You just had a misfavored. So that's what we're going to pause for tonight on the precipice of the reliquary vault to gain the last bit of data that you need to find out what this thing is that you are assembling. What are these eternity shards, and what relation do they have to the source? We'll be back in 1 week with more Torg's Day night goodness. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are so great to have on board. I'm really glad you enjoyed that dramatic task resolution. It seemed like everybody enjoyed it. We will be back on Thursday with more Fading Suns. If you have not tuned into the Fading Suns game, Thursday nights we run Fading Suns. It's our longest running game on the Ulisses channel that we are also bringing to an end. It should end, by the second week of December. But this is a very special episode that if you have been tuning in, it will start with the wedding of Gregor and Captain Calypso Mars, which is long overdue. We will be bringing the Horseman game to an end as well. We've been seeding the new campaign that we are spinning up in January. Brand new game, new players, new characters, new setting. So instead of kind of a globe-trotting game, we're going to be focused on one area for the whole campaign. But between then and now, we will have the Bureau G game, the Stupidest Drone, a heartwarming tale of holiday horror set in the Pan Pacifica Cosm. I hope at the very least Lily will tune in on the chat, because Lily is sort of the inspiration for this this adventure. You'll have to tune in December to find out. Look, we already have our Bureau G. You can't be Bureau G yet. You're still a horseman for at least the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys all for a great game. Greg, it's always good to see you. Certified Organic, Zero Earth Element. Everyone else, including our to Caro, thank you for joining. It's great to see you. And if you like what we do, please check out the Ulisses International channel. Please, hit the heart button, hit the bell button on Twitch so that they know that this is a channel that you like. Go over to YouTube, like the videos, leave comments, subscribe to their channel on YouTube so that, again, the algorithm goes, hey, this is something that other people need to see. Also, we're starting 2 brand new campaigns in January, a new Torg game on Tuesday nights, and a Myth game, a Tales of Legend game, which is, if you go to the Ulysses channel, you can check out the Campfire Tales, where Ross Watson and I talk about the Myth role-playing game. Brand new games launching in January. You guys will be able to start on the new campaigns right on day one. Let your friends know if you think they would enjoy it. We try to keep the games pretty short so that they're easy to watch on a weeknight. So check us out on Thursday for more Fading Suns. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Torg. And until then, I am JMG. Thank you, as always, to Phantom of Truth for moderating, and to our wonderful producer, JD, for keeping this going, and also making a ton of Doctor Who comments that have to stop as soon as the camera's rolling, but I want to acknowledge her outrage. And these are the Horsemen. Thank you to the Horsemen, as always. I love running this game for you, and we will be back in a week. Until next time, does that cup hold more beer on the inside? Okay. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. We'll see you in a week. Have a good one.